Hello everyone. Okay, tonight is going to be super short, quick training. I'm just going to do a Q&A and I'm going to answer all of the questions that were asked on the team page and try to answer as many as I can. I'm going to keep this, maybe 15-20 minutes at the most. I don't ever want to run these longer than like 30 minutes unless we're in a really good discussion. But also, I've been wearing absolutely zero makeup, so just going to have to deal with this appearance for now. Okay, so really quick, gonna run through as many of these as I can. Like I said, some are going to need a deeper training rather than just like a quick answer type thing. I do also want to do a training soon on burnout because it seems like that's kind of where a lot of people are. This last year has just kind of been crazy. There's been a lot going on for everybody. We've all had our ups and downs. And just in general, this business is going to have ups and downs. You're going to hit ruts no matter what, with or without a global pandemic. You're still going to have those ups and downs in this business. So that's just part of it. So I do want to do a training on burnout and how to get out of ruts and stuff like that. Because I just went through a really rough rut that I was in it for like 3 months, could not get out of it. So I was completely burnt out, completely burned out on everything. So I want to kind of go over that and like how to get out of those ruts and stuff like that. So that'll be another training coming up just so that you are aware. So someone asked how to expand your customer base when no one wants to host online parties due to the pandemic and money issues. So I actually have another training on selling during the pandemic. I think I actually might have 2 other ones on my YouTube channel, so you can check those out. But we can also go into just expanding your customer base in a separate training completely, just in general with expanding your customer base rather than during the pandemic too. But I do have 2 specific videos on my YouTube. I'm pretty sure I have 2 of how to sell during a pandemic. How to get motivated in the new year. We did go over that on the goal setting video from a couple weeks ago. So you guys can always go back and watch that one. And then again, how to promote my business came up, how to promote that business. So we can go into that on a training as well. Basket and Facebook party ideas and how to get new customers. So a lot of these questions are definitely related to how to get new customers. So I have that one. And then I see... okay, so affordable shipping, mailings are killing me. So I honestly don't mail out a ton of catalogs because they are expensive to mail out. When I do mail things to customers, I use pirateship.com, and that saves quite a bit of money on regular packages from what I've noticed rather than just going into the post office. It saves usually, I don't know, anywhere from like $1 to $3, I would say, when I use Pirate Ship. You have another option with print. So Pirate Ship, you print out your own labels. So that's for like, anything bigger than an invitation envelope or a postcard, something like that. Even like bubble mailers you can use Pirate Ship for. But like I said, I don't mail out a ton of catalogs. I try to just mail those out to people who I know really want them. I don't just mail them out to anyone and everyone, because I do all my monthly mailings, which already cost, a good chunk of change. So I do those, but those I can mail out with just a stamp. I used to use a Dymo label maker and stamps.com. I stopped doing that because I didn't feel like I was mailing enough to make that worth it, because stamps.com, you have to pay a monthly fee and then you save a little bit on the stamps, but you also have to buy the stamps. And I don't know if something was wrong with my Dymo label maker, but it kept skipping labels like over and over and over and over again. And so that was really frustrating because it was like stamps that I had paid for and then I couldn't just reprint the ones that it skipped. So I just gave up on that and I just buy rolls of stamps now. But I have heard some people that possibly mail catalogs with stamps, but don't quote me on that because I don't think I've ever tried that personally. But definitely check out Pirate Ship. Try not to mail as many catalogs, and using, yes, the flip book, the online catalog, that also is super helpful instead of mailing out a bunch of catalogs. I try to save my catalogs to like hand out in person, or to mail to someone who's having a party, different things like that, so that I'm finding cheaper things. Also, the product sheets are super cost saving to send to people because then you can just send that product sheet and it still shows basically everything. It's just not as pretty as the catalog, but that still works too, and that saves quite a good chunk of change there because it's just a little sheet of paper, just fold it up. Having a friend host a party for me, but not sure what incentives to tell her about. So I'm not sure if you're referring to like any specific deals or anything like that, but just in general, when people are hosting a party, you always want to incentivize them just with the host rewards themselves, because that's a huge deal. They can get tons of product for free or half off. And then they also have the option to do the host kit if they wanted to join and start their own business. So those are always the things that I touch on when people are having parties. I think that those are plenty of incentives just on their own. I don't think you need to offer anything else. I know some people do, but I personally don't think you need to. I've never had any issue with people wanting more or expecting more or anything like that. You guys, you have to set the bar that you're not going to always be offering free stuff in this business. You're not always going to be offering free shipping. You're not always going to be offering deals or specials or giveaways or prizes or anything. I don't ever offer free shipping for people. Ever. Never. And I have never had someone complain about shipping because I've never offered it. If you start offering that, then people are going to wait until you offer that to them again to order. So I always say that, like, you never want to offer extras or anything that's going to put you under, that's going to lose you money, anything like that. Just because I don't think it's a good business habit, because then you're going to be spending more money than you're making. It's not worth it. Like, I do now send out a scent circle to every customer who orders. But I always get my scent circles when I host my own party, and I get them with my party rewards, so I'm not paying full price for the scent circles. And then it's also really cheap to send because I can get away with mailing them with one stamp. Sometimes a few of them will get sent back and I'll have to add another stamp, but yeah, you never do shipping. And then how to get more customers. Again, so getting more customers to your website, post your website anywhere and everywhere that you can think of. Ask people to send it out. You can do a text party. You can ask for those referrals. That's a bunch of stuff that I always do. When I first started, I literally would put my website on everything. Like, I would put it on everything. And I know that I've told this story before, but also when I first started too, I would make it, I mean, I know it's a little bit different right now because we don't have the convenience of being able to just go into every store and stuff like that. But as many places as you still can go into, I highly recommend like going into the grocery store instead of ordering your groceries to your door, so that way you're interacting with people, you're seeing people, you're talking to the cashier, you're talking to the person at the butcher counter, like whatever it is. Go into the bank instead of just going through the drive-thru. Go into Starbucks instead of just going through the drive-thru. Go talk to someone at an actual car wash, like go get your car washed by an actual person instead of just going through a drive-through car wash, you know, just little things like that. At the gas station, go in and pay at the cashier and talk to everybody. I used to just give away little samples in my business card and just be like, hey, like, here's a free sample for you. Like, I don't ask, because then you're giving them the opportunity to say no. If they throw it away, then they throw it away. So what? That's fine. But you know what? You're going to get some of those people to be like, oh, cool. And then like, go look at it. So that's what I would say. I never used to just ask. I know people have asked me that before too. Like, oh, do you ask if they want a sample? No, because then it gives them the option to say no. And I don't want to give them that option to say no. So, let's see if someone else asked any questions. No. Anyone else have any questions right now? I know I talked about how I would do separate trainings on getting out of a rut, getting out of a funk, and then getting new customers just in general for basket parties, for hosting parties. It seems like that's what everyone's looking for, is how to get new customers. One of my main ideas for getting new customers for parties too is referrals. And I send out emails to customers sometimes. Like, if they've hosted parties before, you can go in and you can filter out your customers to who's hosted before and stuff like that, or people who are potential hosts. Like, I don't know if you know that, but in the contacts tab, you can go in and you can mark all of that stuff on your workstation if they are a potential host or potential recruit or different things like that. And I will email just those people on that list to get parties, or I'll text them and be like, hey, I'm looking for party hosts. Do you know anyone that might be interested? And half the time they'll usually be like, oh, actually, I want to host another party or something. Especially right now, since we're getting ready for a transition, that's a huge thing to do, like the last chance first glance party, where people are getting the last chance to get these fall and winter products, and then they're having the first glance at the spring and summer products. So you would run the party through the end of this month and then the beginning of next month. So they have the option to get both of those products and see both of those products, and you can kind of advertise it as like they are getting a first look before anybody else, and you can kind of tease some of the products a few days before, stuff like that. Those always seem to go over really, really well for me. And yes, they would have to pay shipping twice. You guys, it's all about how you approach it. Again, I will say it is seriously all about your attitude. If you're like, oh my gosh, I know shipping is so much, then they're gonna think that too. If you're like, oh, well, you know, you'll have to pay shipping twice, whatever, it's fine. Like, act like it's no big deal, because it's not a big deal. You guys, people pay for Amazon shipping. You pay a monthly fee to have Amazon Prime. You are not getting shipping for free from Amazon. No one is getting shipping for free from Amazon. You pay for shipping still. Everyone pays for shipping somewhere, whether it's an increase in the cost of the product or you're paying that monthly fee. Yeah, sure, there's some people that only order, you know, one time a year from Amazon. There's people who order 12 times a week from Amazon. I'm one of those people that orders like 12 times a week from Amazon. So I'm definitely getting my money's worth out of that fee that I pay. And then I'm also taking advantage of those people who only order once a year. I'm taking their shipping fee too that they're paying. So you guys, literally nobody gets free shipping anywhere in this world. Someone is paying for it somewhere, like I said. So don't think of it as like, you know, people having to pay all this in shipping, all that in shipping. And I will tell you, and I will always stress this, that shipping costs way more to ship on your own than what Scentsy charges us for shipping. I cannot stress that enough. The $8 shipping charge that we pay through Scentsy, if you go mail that same package at the post office, it's gonna cost you 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks. Who knows? But it's always way more than $8. So, plus you have to think about the fact that you have to use your own packaging when you mail that stuff, and then you have to take it to the post office, and then you have to do this, and you have to do that, and you have to drive to the post office, and you have to use your gas, and all of that stuff. So $8 shipping is not bad at all. So I'm telling you, so much of that is around the way you approach it, because that's another thing that I feel like I hear a lot is shipping costs and stuff like that. But I'm going to cut this off in about 5 minutes. So if anyone else has any last minute questions, please let me know now. If you have any other questions that you want answered that are just kind of a quick Q&A. And if there is anything else that you want to do trainings on later on, let me know that as well, and I will add that to my list. I know a lot of people also want to talk about recruiting, so we can go into getting more customers, recruits, and what was the other thing that I said? I think that was all I said. Maybe, can't remember. What is something you want to do differently this year versus last year in Scentsy? That is a good question. I do definitely want to focus more on parties. This year, I've never had a huge focus on parties, so I definitely, like, just in my own business, I want to focus on that. But then I also want to focus on building more leaders on the team. I want as many of you to hit director as want to hit director. But also it's a matter of just making sure that, you know, those people are dedicated to it too, because I can spend all the time in the world giving all the advice and everything. And if you're not going to apply that advice or try new things or do this, then it's kind of a waste of everybody's time. And I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. So, you know, I just really want to focus on the people who really do want to grow and kind of take that next step in their business. I have a couple of things planned as far as so I know we did our Leap to Lead, and I will be running that again this year. My plan is actually to try and run Leap to Lead twice a year, since I already have that program set up. It would be pretty easy to kind of do it twice a year, I think, and just kind of finesse it every time a little bit. And then I want to also do a shoot to stars, shoot to superstar consultant. I haven't decided which one. And then also dash to director is another thing that I want to do too. But those two programs, the star and director programs, those will only be once a year because those will be a lot more involved and a lot more work. So watch for those to come this year. I also want to include more training from other leaders. I would just have to figure out how to arrange that because it's kind of difficult to get all of them added to our team page and have them go live on our team page like this to do the trainings. So I am leaning towards Zoom, but I know a lot of people don't like that either. And I don't want to waste another leader's time by having them come on a Zoom and then nobody showing up for the Zoom. So it's just kind of give and take. I could also always just record a video one-on-one with them and ask them questions, something like that. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how to arrange that just to kind of give you guys some, new voices, new faces, stuff like that might be helpful because I know I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, just like you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So, some people just mesh better with others, or you can get more out of someone else. Someone else that I listen to a lot is Jennifer Anderson, Chloe Cox. They're both really, really great trainers. I listen to both of them a lot. So there are other directors and superstar directors out there that you can listen to and watch their YouTubes and get all this training. You guys, the first year that I was a consultant, I watched so many YouTube videos. It's insane. Like I was always wanting to learn and grow and just take in all the information that I could. And I still do that. I don't do Scentsy videos quite as much. This last year, I've really been working on personal development. So I've been doing a lot of podcasts and audiobooks, but no matter what, I'm always taking in content. Like during the day, when I'm working, I can still have a podcast or an audiobook on in the back. So I'm still kind of soaking in that information and listening to it. You know what I mean? So just always making sure that I'm trying to feed myself information and learning and growing, whether that be in Scentsy or whether that be in my personal life or at my job. You guys, I'm working full time. I am an executive assistant and I actually just kind of got switched to a different role. So that happened super quick with this new job. So I still need to update my hours on the team page since that has changed a little bit. And I know I talked to someone about this already, but I'm planning to do some coaching calls this next month. I know that I've kind of completely stepped back from them, but I want to do them again for our team, for Wax Boss Squad. And they're more than likely going to have to be on the weekends just because I don't have a ton of free time during the week to do them, but keep an eye out for that too. I think that's all I've got. I have a lot of things on a list that I just need to compile and sit down and get it all taken care of, but this new role happened this week, so things have been crazy and I've just been trying to wrap my brain around all of it and get it all organized so that I have, my fitness stuff on point, I have my work on point, I have my personal stuff on point, and then I have Scentsy on point. It's all, all has to line up and kind of work together. And I think that's super important to take care of yourself in all aspects of life, not just in Scentsy, but that kind of comes with that burnout talk that we can have, is making sure that you're taking the time for yourself and taking care of yourself. That's always super, super important, as I have learned. So, but yeah, I think that's all I've got. It's 8 o'clock, so I am going to jump off. But as always, please let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, I don't know how to help unless you ask questions. So please ask questions. A lot of the posts I see before they go onto the team page. So a lot of the times I'll just reach out to you guys and answer the question for you if you try to post something to the team page. So keep posting those if you have a question and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, or I'll approve it to be posted on the team page if I think it's something that would help everyone else out too. So yeah. That's all I've got, and I hope that you all have a wonderful night, and I will also upload this to YouTube probably right after this. So that's all I've got, and if you guys still have comments, leave them, or questions, leave them in these comments, and I'll answer them too. So that's all. Bye. Maybe.